name is Maximilian Lengauer. I'm originally from Austria. I'm a first-year PhD student at ESPCI Paris, and it's together in collaboration with Université Paris Saclay. I studied in Vienna. I made a language-based high school, so my high school was not very based on natural sciences, so I was more educated in the language and human sciences, I would say. I then decided to do natural sciences, so I did both my bachelor's and my master's in Vienna at Technical University of Vienna in technical physics, and I did not do any internship during my studies, so that's why for my PhD I decided to go abroad outside of Austria and to do a PhD in another country, and I ended up in Paris. I'm in the field of fluorescence microscopy. It's one of the key technologies of modern biology. It's about imaging cells at a very high precision, so for very on the molecular level, and my project aims at gaining a higher temporal resolution for imaging, so imaging basically on a higher frame rate to see more what's going on the time levels, on the time scales, to improve the frame rate of imaging. I'm building my setup, so I'm currently mainly doing optics, and it's more physics-based research or physics-based work, let's say. But at a certain point, when I have developed my technique, I will apply biological samples, and I will go more in the bio direction and image cells, and try to prove that my technique can really do higher temporal resolution and see really what's going on in a cell on a higher temporal scale. Molecular biology, cell biology is currently the field, or one of the fields, where the most progress is happening in science. So physics, it progressed a lot during the last 100 years, let's say, and biophysics, the field where I'm in, it's a very new field, and there are a lot of different techniques popping up, like fluorescence microscopy, and yeah, I mean, it also means it's very competitive because a lot of people are working in this field, but it's also very nice because there are a lot of good people working in there, and there is a lot of progress, and it's just an amazing field to work in. The hardest time I had during my studies was the first year, I would say. As I said, I came from a language-based high school, and I didn't have much preparation from high school for doing a natural science studies. So the first year was quite tough, but also my grades were not so good at the beginning, but it increased constantly since then. So also during my master's, the further I progressed, the better my grades got, and the more fun I had doing really the studies, and yeah, that's why I also finally decided to do a PhD in the field I'm most interested in. The first advice I would give to high school students is to, you should be really interested in the field, so it makes no sense to do it for the title or for money, because, I mean for money not for sure, because you will be paid better in industry if you go directly to industry or to economy. So you have to be very interested, you have to be passionate for the field you want to do your PhD in, and into science, of course. And the second advice is you should choose your supervisor very well. So it's very important to have a good relation to your supervisor. So don't only go for the field you are most interested in, or yeah, I mean you should go for the field you're most interested in, but it's also very important to have a good supervisor, and a supervisor you get along with well. Otherwise, you will have a very hard time during your PhD.